These are the dominant 7th chords on the 2, 4, 5, 6 string family in A flat. We'll start with A flat, C, G flat, and E flat. C, E flat, A flat, and G flat. E flat, G flat, C, and A flat. And finally, G flat, A flat, E flat, and C. Those will be the 4 basic positions. If we start here, we can see that we have an A flat suspension, suspended 4th, A flat, D flat, G flat, and E flat. And of course that can occur up a 5th. These chords tend to have that relationship. Moving the tenor voice from D flat to F. We can hear that. That works. Moving the alto voice to B flat. So A flat, F, B flat, and E flat. And moving the top voice to G flat. So sort of a G flat major 7 on top of A flat, and then resolves. So going from here, we can also do A flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat, and resolve to D flat rather easily. Here too, we have A flat, E flat, G flat, and D flat, and just resolves great to a D flat add 9, A flat, E flat, F, and D flat. So that kind of covers that region. Also a chord like this kind of sounds like a version of a dominant. A flat, A flat, E flat, B flat, and G flat is fine for a dominant type chord. That works. So going to C, E flat, A flat, and G flat. So the bass voice, the 3rd, can go from C to D flat, and it can go back to B flat. Also, this relates to E flat minor 7. So we can see that they're very closely related, those chords. That would be D flat, E flat, B flat, and G flat. E flat minor 7 in this case, G flat major 7, and C minor 7 flat 5 will directly relate to these A flat dominants. Here's the minor 7 flat 5 on C. C, E flat, B flat, and G flat. The top voice can move. And of course resolve to a D flat. Also, voice exchange, C, F, B flat, G flat. Now if we exchange F and G flat, we have this sort of, sounds like a 13th and a 9th chord, and you can see it resolves nicely to D flat like that. Also, in this case, we can relate this going backwards from a standard dominant 7. So this is C, G flat, A flat, and F, and then standard 13th type chord, moving back to D flat, of course. Here's one, C, G flat, B flat, and A flat, which planes nicely to D flat as a resolution, or in contrary motion too, that works as well. Moving forward, we have a G flat over a C, which is a possibility. So it's a bit of a different type of dominant sound. It has the 3rd and the 4th, I suppose. C, D flat, B flat, and G flat. That works. And also here, C, G flat, D flat, and B flat, and then the top voice can move to A flat and stay for a resolution on D flat major with a 6th, D flat, B flat, C, and A flat. Now, many of the voicings that were on the first A flat work here. So we saw that we had this, a lot of similar voicings. So they sound very similar, like this E flat, B flat, D flat, and A flat. And of course we move the D flat to C, and we have an add 9 on A flat. So that's fine. Additionally, we have E flat, G flat, C, and A flat. We can move the top to B flat. So we know that a root can be replaced by its 9th. And of course that resolves nicely to the D flat. addition, we said that not only E flat minor, but G flat major, if we just move the fifth to down a semitone. So in this case, this is a G flat major, F, G flat, D flat, and A flat. And we can put a B flat on top, and then just move the D flat to C, and we have a resolution to a D flat chord. So we have this sort of, and then we have a sort of a 13th chord inside, sort of an inside. And that's certainly a possibility. So again, that's just moving the elements of a G flat major. And we can see it here. Here's the G flat major. So there's a G flat major 7, D flat, G flat, B flat, and F. Move the fifth down a semitone, and of course we have our dominant chord, and we're home, and we have no problems there. So the G flat can move. The fifth moves down a semitone to what would amount to the third of the A flat chord. They're the same. Here's the last inversion for the A flat 7. Simply, we can have a suspended fourth. The top voice can move from C. This is G flat, A flat, E flat, and C, suspended fourth, and can move it up to B flat as well. So those are all standard sounds. The A flat can move to B flat. So now we have a G flat sort of major sound, or a C minor 7 flat 5, it looks like. And it resolves nicely to D flat major, F, A flat, E flat, and D flat. So very easy to play physically. Now, moving ahead, we have the G flat sound here. Now what we can do is we can convert to a major. So we have a 13th chord, G flat, B flat, F, and C, which kind of has the sound of a A flat 13. So G flat, B flat, F, and C. We move the inner voice, the alto voice, G flat, C, E flat, and B flat, and then resolve. So it sounds sort of like a 13th chord, 9th sound, moving downwards to the 1 chord. Additionally, here's where the shapes become the same, and we can really illustrate that. For instance, here's a G flat major 7 with a 13, I guess. Very easy to play. G flat, C, F, and E flat. Now, if we move the the top voice, the soprano, this E flat to B flat, and then again do what we did with the previous voicing, move the F to E flat, we can hear, and I'll transfer the exact same shapes from G flat to D flat, and it will have the effect of a 5-1, an A flat dominant. So it sounds like a 5-1 cadence, So again, we can maybe we can set it up with even a B flat minor like this. A flat, B flat, F, and G flat. G flat, B flat, F, and E flat. Move the B flat to C to make it sound dominant. Keep transferring it down. So we can hear and see how one shape can convert into two different functions, from dominant to tonic, same shape. Here we have a G flat, C, A flat, and E flat. We flatten our finger. We have a 13th. And again, we have a similar shape. That works really well, and you can see same shape, works, and it resolves great. All of those sounds resolve. They have a very, very pleasing resolution. And there are many different forms of the dominant that can be used in that sense. Just the darker ones, you know, like the G flat over A flat, they're nice. And then, of course, this we have all of them. Of course, the 11th chords work too. So we have the A flat, B flat, G flat, and D flat, G flat over A flat. The same holds for the E flat, against that sort of law of the fifths. E flat, F, D flat, and so this is D flat over E flat, F, D flat, and A flat. So as a setup, E flat minor 7, E flat, G flat, A flat, and F. Moving to G flat major 7. And then final resolution. So that gives you a broad overview of the standard dominant 7th chords on the 2, 4, 5, 6 string family in A flat.